bacon cut thick. You can get those in some of the supermarkets or the butcher. Otherwise you can use gammon steak. And with it we need some paprika, salt is not necessary, it's quite salty bacon, pepper though, and then for the blush we have a ruby grapefruit, then my little onions as always. I got a gherkin, pickled gherkin, and some of the parsley butter that we seen earlier on how to prepare, and some cranberry sauce. So we go straight into it because time is an essence, and we cook away. So I got a bit of flour ready. I put some oil in my frying pan, which is already on maximum heat. Not too much because bacon has quite a lot of fat. Spread it out. I put tiny bit of paprika together with some flour, not too much, just to make a bit of a thickness to the sauce. Mix it in, no salt, just the paprika and the flour, because I said the bacon is already quite salty. You can have either just plain bacon, brine, or you can have a smoked one, up to you, the way you prefer it. Just dust it, shake off the excess, and put it in a very hot oil. So it starts sort of cooking away. I say gammon steak, as long as it's fairly lean, will do the same job. Keep that on the side because I'm going to use it later. And then, as usual, start off with the onion. A very small one, you can use a shallot, which is better. And you cut it very, very fine. All this is now a common sort of skill for you, I hope. And the finer you get it, the better it is, and the quicker the cooking of the recipe. So nice and fine. It's not a classical recipe, but it's used sometime in German cookery, whereby they use a loin of smoked pork, which is usually boiled. It's called Kassler. There's a fairly sort of sweet kind of flavour to it, and smoky. And what I'm going to do is to cut the strength of the bacon with the juice of the grapefruit and a bit of sweetness from the cranberry. So I just need it to sort of just slightly colour. I put my onions on the side and I prepare the grapefruit. And the scene for the grapefruit, we use a serrated edge knife and a bowl to get the juice. But before I do that, I take out some of the skin to make a zest, where it's really the nicest sort of pink colour. Just a very, very couple of slivers, no more than that. I got a nice blush on that side. And we prepare those later. So I try to combine everything together so it comes out within the 15 minutes sort of deadline that I have. With the grapefruit, you remember we use a serrated edge knife, same as with the orange, and we cut it down to where the flesh is, nice and ruby, as you can see. And then we just go around the shape, following the curve. And the first cutting gives me the guideline for the next peeling, the next segment, which I go around, so I remove all the pit because it's quite bitter otherwise. Meanwhile my bacon is frying away, it's nearly cooked through. So round and round it goes, keep the guideline as I go along. You can do this with a filleting knife, but this serrated edge it's a bit easier for you. Just peel through, check from the other side what is left, remove that. And I'll probably just use half of this so you can keep some of it for your breakfast tomorrow. Alright, there he goes. Meanwhile, my bacon is got already a nice color. And then I remove the segments. We done this with the oranges some time ago. We go one side of the membrane between segments and we lift off the segments. On the second one and the segment one, we just do one side and then just twist the knife behind it and peel it off the membrane. As I say, I only need about half of this, so just beside the membrane, leave that stuck. All you do is lift and go a bit deeper and lift off the segments. Let's choose some nice ones. So this is not for 2 portions, but I'm only having one today. I got one in there. One more. And squeeze out the juice into it. And as I keep that for something else. Meanwhile, my 2 medallions are cooked. I keep them warm. And now I put the shallots or the fine onions into the sediments. Great. That's lovely. I haven't got much juice, but probably if you do it the first time, you will have a bit more. Just make sure that they are softening up. Meanwhile, my potatoes are cooking. I prepare the zest. So I put the skin down onto the board, and with a cook's knife, I go across the shorter sort of measurements and very, very fine zest. This is the famous finger walk that we use time and again, so you can see how much during the last 8 months we've been using the same techniques with different sort of thickness and also results. And that goes in together with the onion. And that should just about come to the right finish at the moment. And then I put in the juice of the grapefruit. Let it reduce. And I prepare my gherkins just into thin slices, which I cut more or less the same as the zest. So I put them flat and cut them diagonally. So you got a bit of sourness from this, sourness from the grapefruit. And in it goes well. And let it sort of dry up almost. I made it almost too dry. In which case I add the secret ingredient, which is in my fridge, always ready, which is the white wine that I was going to serve with it, and give it a bit of liquid. I'm always complaining about the heat of the electric hob, and really I can sort of see that I would like to have a bit more heat so to sizzle it down. Potatoes are nearly ready. At this stage, I add a bit of the red currant sauce. We can have fresh or cranberry, sorry. You can buy fresh cranberry now this time of the year with the turkey season coming along. And I just melt it in. So now I got the sweetness together with the sourness and a bit of the crunch. I just make sure that it sort of breaks down nicely. And I add to it my 2 medallions and bring everything to the heat together with my pink grapefruit. And it should come up. Oh, I got a pip there, which I don't want. And just let it simmer it through. The potatoes should be nearly ready.